Hi everybody, it's Claire back with day 15 and 16 of the Art by Marlene Advent Calendar. So day 15 was this really cool pattern stencil. So I'm going in with some white gesso to start off with on my page because I decided I wanted to do a reductive stenciling background. This is a technique that I use a lot, lots of you use a lot. It's such a great way to create a fun patterned background, but you do need to make sure that you pop some gesso down first so that you can create the right effect that you're after. So, as you would expect, I'm going to be using rainbow colours, nice brights, and going in with a baby white which isn't too wet, and just lifting the paint off through the stencil. I'm just going to do this in little patches of colour. I'm going to overlap them as well, so it creates that nice, colourful, bright background. Okay, so once I'd got the background sorted, I'm then going to find an image to use, and I kind of felt like I wanted to use a butterfly. So I went into the Golden Oldies Collector's Book of paper elements and found this gorgeous pink butterfly. It's going to work really nicely on my background as my focal point. I'm sticking it down using the Art by Marlene sticky glue. I'm going to add a black shadow around one side just to help pull it out from the background a little bit, because my background is quite busy, as you can see, but doesn't it let that stencil sing really nicely? You can see all those lovely patterns. So once I have water activated the Stabilo all line around my butterfly, I'm then going to start thinking about the other elements that I want to add. So I'm also going to brighten some of those colours on the butterfly by using the duo acrylic markers from Art by Marlene, and using a Posca pen I'm just going to draw a little flight trail for the butterfly. This little dotty stamp is from one of Marlene's most recent stamp sets. I think it's the Bear Hugs one. Of course, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, another dot stamp, fantastic, because you can't have too many of those. That was black archival ink as well, and then a quote from one of the previous days, and I'm just going to do the quote as if it's following the flight path of the butterfly, and that is pretty much it for this tag. So that is finished. I'm also outlining those words just to make them pop out. There we go, nice bold background. This, I think, this stencil in day 16 has to be my favourite. No surprises there, of course, it's circles. My favourite one from last year was the circle stencil. I wanted to really make this stencil the star, and went for a black background. So very different to anything that I'd done so far in my tag accordion journal. I'm just going to add this black paint. Of course, all the paints I'm using, all the products I'm using are all art by Marlene for this project, all the way through December. Adding that paint all over the tag. There are a couple of little white spaces, but I'm also going to introduce a bit more white by using the stencil to just introduce some nice little circles onto there as well. So then I'm just going in with a black gel pen and just adding some more doodly details to some of these circles. And don't panic, I am going to introduce some colour. I bet you're all thinking, Claire must be ill. This can't be right. There's no colour on this yet. Yeah, don't worry, it's coming. So once I'd done that, I then grabbed one of Marlene's collage papers that was really bright and colourful. Of course, inspired by the dots. This is a hole punch from EK Punches, and it's got all these different sized circles on it. So going with very much of a circle theme. Then I'm going to use the sticky glue just to add a few of these onto my page. You can see because I've punched them out, I'm going to have bits and bobs of all sorts of colours on there. I'm using my tweezers to pick them up just because it's a bit less hassle than trying to pick them up myself. So that is the only reason for the tweezers. I'm not particularly wanting to make this look difficult, but actually made it so much quicker. So then I'm just adding these onto the page. So I'm just bringing some little pops of colour. Then I am using Marlene's Duo acrylic pens just to add some coloured circles as well, colouring over those white stenciled circles. So you can see this is getting more and more colourful as I go along. This is a great way to add that colour without getting your paints out, is to get your paint pens busy. Obviously, if you need to make sure your paint underneath is nice and dry, otherwise you can just completely ruin your pens. But yeah, I'm liking how this is coming together. Very, very colourful. And I know I'm not the only person into mixed media art and art journaling who loves circles. I mean, they are just something about them. I don't know what it is. So then once that was nice and dry, I'm then just faffing about more and doing some lines on some of the circles. Just playing really. I think sometimes I don't always have an end goal in mind, but yes, it's fun just to play. So this is one of the neon paints that Marlene does. I think, is it called Punk? It might be. And I'm just painting with it. I'm using the nib just to pop some little pink dots onto my page. And then leave that to dry because that needs a bit longer. This is a round tag that came from either last year's or the year before advent calendar. Sticking it onto some collage paper. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to add another little tag onto the page as well. It's keeping with the circle theme. So once I'd cut that out and punched the little hole back in the top using my crocodile, as you can see, I'm then going to edge round it using some black archival ink. That's just going to help it stand out from the background once it goes onto my page. And I'm going to put one of the little paper elements on here. I think it ends up being one of the like sort of Christmassy drinks And I'm adding some flowers as well onto there. So I'm going to trim these round the edge of the bauble tag just to make it so that they're not overhanging. Although, I mean, I could have left them overhanging, it would have worked fine. But I kind of wanted them to be fitted nicely into the shape. Okay, so just building up those level layers of interest. And then I'm going to use this lovely Christmassy looking drink and creating an area where it's going to be grounded just by adding that black line. Pop it on there. And then I had these big circles left over, so I thought let's not waste those, let's just pop those onto the back. Again, I'm going to do some that are sort of just going off the sides, and I'll trim those down. So really that was just creating the back on my tag, just because I got those bits left over, I didn't want to waste them. Or they'd just end up on the floor, to be honest. So I think I also add a bit of an outline around these shapes on the back too. I mean, realistically, you're not actually going to see a great deal of this because this tag is going to be fixed onto my page. I think I just got my pen caught in a bit of glue there. So like I'm always saying, make sure things are dry before you get your pens out. I should listen to my own advice. Yeah, that's just created that kind of nice sketchy look. And a few dots as well, of course. It's really simple, but I really like that effect. Okay, then I'm just looking through the Golden Oldie Sticker quote book to find a quote to go on the bauble. And then I will add that onto my page. So the way I'm going to fasten it on is by using some ribbon, and I'm going to fasten it through the hole in the top of the tag as well. So that is it for day 15 and 16 of the Art by Marlene Advent Calendar. It's ridiculous how fast this is going. So there's today's, that is yesterday's. There we go. Lots and lots of fun. Come back again in a couple of days' time to see the next 2 days' offerings. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.